In today's video, we'll try to discuss about how one should start mutual fund investment, especially when one is in his 20s or 30s and gets his first salary. I personally feel that first salary or the first income is quite special, and this occasion comes only once in a lifetime. So to make it more memorable, one should give something to oneself first and then something for the family members. And maybe after that, start thinking how he should start his investment journey. Hello everyone, I am Dhaval and welcome to my channel DIY Finance. If you search YouTube how to start investment in 20s or 30s, you will find tons of videos explaining stuff like why start investing early, the magic of compounding, asset allocation, etc. With thumb rules like equity allocation should be 100 minus the age and also importance of emergency fund. And end the video with retirement planning where you should not withdraw more than 4% yearly of your retirement corpus. But here today, I am not going to discuss any of this stuff. But considering that you have already planned all these things and you are ready to start investment in mutual funds as a part of your investment journey. So which fund one should select first and why to select this fund? In the whole video, we will be considering the real world funds and actual data only. If you want, I will make a separate video on why it is important to start investment early in life and show how the magic of compounding works. But right now, let's come to the original topic and start the video. In the mutual fund universe, there are so many categories of funds, and as a new investor, I would recommend that you may start your investment journey with the following categories of funds only. If the investment amount is quite small, you may start with one flexi cap fund. You must already be aware what are flexi cap funds, but still, let me explain. Flexi cap funds are those funds which have the liberty of investing in stocks across any categories like large cap, mid cap, small cap stocks without any capping. That is the main reason for suggesting this category as the first category to start investment. With just one fund, you can have exposure to the entire range of category with a good diversification. Now let's talk about a person who is earning a decent amount to start his investment. Then I would suggest that he can go with following fund categories. First, one flexi cap fund, one small cap fund, and one mid cap fund. I feel that for a decent amount of SIP, three funds are more than enough, and these three funds can provide the required diversification to the overall portfolio. And in the early stage of investment, one should prioritize returns and not the volatility. Volatility is directly related to the risk, and with a long investment time horizon, this volatility is being mitigated. Hence, I have selected small cap and mid cap funds instead of other categories of funds. So before going to the actual funds to be selected, let's also look at which fund categories one should avoid in the early stage of investment. First one, the large cap funds. Though this fund category is considered to be the least volatile, should be a part of portfolio, but this is the category which gives the least returns. And as mentioned earlier, in the earlier stage of investment, one should prioritize on returns. Hence, this category can be added at a later stage when the portfolio size becomes quite large and when you feel that now the accumulation phase is getting over and the portfolio needs stability. Second category is the sectoral funds. As these funds are very cyclic in nature, and the risk-return ratio of this fund may be very erratic, which can shake the confidence of a new investors. Hence, one should avoid this category of funds. And once you gain some experience and the feel of the market, you can allocate a small portion, not more than 7 to 10% of the total portfolio. The third category is the NFO, that is, new fund offers. This category of fund should not only be avoided in the early stage, but also in the later stage. NFO may feel lucrative and are being mostly promoted by agents and distributors, but one should always avoid them. So now let's look at what should be the allocation of the selected funds. The ideal allocation should be 35% for small cap funds, 35% for mid cap funds, and the rest 30% for flexi cap funds. This is a simple allocation and one can always tweak it as per one's requirement. So now let's look at the three funds one should start their investment with. The first one is Quant Mid Cap Fund. The second one is Quant Small Cap Fund. and the third one is Parag Parikh Flexi Cap Fund. I have selected these three funds not only based on its past performance but also on the stocks they have and overlapping of stocks between these three funds. Presently, these funds are quite good performing, but as in case of actively managed funds, one should always review their funds at least once in a year and make changes as and when required. So now let's also check the trailing returns of this fund. As evident in the table, Quant Small Cap Fund is having the highest yearly returns for the period of 5 years, 3 years, and 2 years. But if you see the returns since inception, the value is higher for Parag Parikh Flexi Cap Fund. This is because Quant funds are more than 10 years old, whereas Parag Parikh Flexi Cap Fund is only 9 years old. And as the law of averaging applies to the returns of this fund, with time the average return generally would decrease. Now let's also look at the SIP returns. Here I have selected the period of 9 years and a SIP amount of rupees 5,000 a month. The total invested amount would be rupees 5,40,000, whereas after 9 years, the total corpus of Quant Small Cap Fund is rupees 15,17,000, which translates to 22% CAGR. Whereas for Quant Mid Cap Fund, it is 13,50,000, which is 19.6% CAGR. Whereas for Parag Parikh Flexi Cap Fund, it is 12,11,000, which translates to 17.3% CAGR. From the graph, it is very evident that after 6 years, that is in March 2020, during the COVID time, when the market had fallen, the returns of Quant Small Cap Fund was in negative. But after that, it has bounced back very fast, has given excellent returns. And this is the volatility which we term as risk for small cap funds. Now also let's look at the rolling returns of this fund and understand this volatility better. As evident in the graph, the returns of Quant Small Cap Fund has varied from plus 58% to minus 16%, which clearly indicates that how much the fund is volatile. But one should not be afraid of this volatility, as these are the funds which provide the highest returns, which we have earlier seen in our SIP returns. Same way, Parag Parikh Flexi Cap Fund has the least volatility, and its return varies from 33% to 1% over the time period. The best way to tackle the volatility is to have a longer investment horizon. Hence, I feel that investors who are young and have a long time horizon should always have a small cap and mid cap in their portfolio. So now let's summarize this video. But before summarizing this video, I would request all of you that as you have watched the video till now, it seems that the topic is of your interest, and hence I would request all of you to press the like button and also subscribe to my channel if you have not done till now to watch such interesting videos in future also. So coming back to the summary, first one, always start your investment journey as early as possible, maybe with a SIP as low as rupees 500, but one should start and later increase the investment amount. I will make a separate video with real data and show how time given to the fund is more powerful than the investment amount. Second one, as mentioned above, start with only one fund, maybe a flexi cap fund, and then eventually add a small cap fund and a mid cap fund. Third one, at a later stage, you can add a large cap fund, and if you want, a sectoral fund can also be added. But do not add too many funds and have a cluttered portfolio. How many funds to have in a portfolio is a very debatable and a subjective matter. But generally, you should not have more than 5 to 6 funds in a portfolio. And the fourth one, most important thing is that at whatever stage of investment journey you are, you should always review your portfolio periodically, that is, at least once in a year, and make necessary changes. Hope the above points would be helpful to all of you in your investment journey, and especially for the DIY investors. I started my investment journey keeping in mind the above points and have surely benefited from this. Happy investing to all of you. To check my earlier videos, click the attached cards. Thank you.